To appreciate Birmingham as it is now, you have to know what the history was. And the history was so not only important, but it's so fascinating.
We wanted to do something in the autumn, but lockdown got in the way, and with the rule of 6 meant that if we were doing physical tours, then the numbers would be extremely limited. So we started to look at what we could do and whether we'd be able to put things online. We decided we wanted to do stuff about the people who were buried in Key Hill, who made a positive contribution to Birmingham over the years. And it was all about George Dawson and the idea of nonconformists, and this idea that Birmingham is a wonderful melting pot of people.
George Dawson, buried here in Section O of Key Hill Cemetery, was a nonconformist preacher, lecturer and political activist. Dawson believed in an ethos that became known as the civic gospel. He believed that the time had come to give everything to everybody.
So we had people who helped set up the Church of the Saviour. We had Mary Beth Beauclair, who was responsible really for recording a lot of George Dawson's thoughts as well. And without her hard work, all of that might have been lost to time.
Her tombstone reads, "This stone was erected by the members of the Church of the Saviour, Birmingham, in grateful recognition of her services, by which many of the prayers, sermons and lectures of the late George Dawson have been preserved."
Oh, we learnt a lot of new skills. So a lot of the shots of the cemetery, some of them are done by us. We also partnered with an organisation called the News Company in Birmingham, and they were doing some of the outdoor shots for us as well.
So all the videos did really well. So we were getting lots of people like engaging and liking them and stuff like that. I mainly looked at Facebook, but I think the Beauclerk one did very well, and quite a few of the others, to be honest. It was just, I think people had that chance to engage that maybe wouldn't have engaged beforehand. Like when they do tours, I wasn't around when they did the tours before, but I understand that they only had a limited capacity. This was kind of increasing our capacity quite a lot because there were people around that wouldn't usually have clicked on a video and watched it. So that was pretty good.
When you're someone that attends a tour, you might want to ask a question, but you might be an introvert. You don't want to necessarily ask it. Quite often we get people that wait till the very end and then approach us individually when the group is dispersed. But I feel like with social media, we had so many positive comments from people that said they really appreciated that we were actually creating something in these COVID times, one that people said, and that they could still engage, they could still take part in an activity that was similar to what we would normally deliver, but in video form instead.
As part of Joseph's inner circle, John Henry Chamberlain designed a number of civic structures, including hospitals, libraries and public utilities in and around Birmingham, that gave expression to the civic gospel philosophy, and in doing so he played an integral role to Birmingham's landscape in the late 19th century.
So I've never made a video before at all, so it's quite a steep learning curve. And so me and Joanna recorded the first 5 and I did the latter 5. So we wanted to make them so they were cohesive across them all, so they all looked like they were done by the same person. And so it was very much lots of communication between the two of us about font sizes and all that sort of stuff. We're nowhere near experts, let me put it this way, but because we've already managed to do these films, it's made us want to do more of them because it is an extra element. It means that we can reach further audiences than we could have done if we were just doing the physical tours alone.
We would normally do a couple of tours, maybe 3 tours during Birmingham Heritage Week across the 10 days. And we'd on average get 20 to 25 people coming to each tour. So at most we'd get 75 people, which is great. But the videos, we had over 4,000 views of the videos. So obviously people, have got a taste to see something like that as well. And I also think that the videos are going to really be able to be used again. If you go to a tour, you just go to a live tour, you might take notes as someone that goes along to it. And obviously we would have notes to deliver that tour again. But with the videos, you can use them as a resource over and over again. So they're really powerful in that way, that we can kind of get our research out to a wider audience and for a longer period of time.
Even with the rule of 6 hand applied, there would have been a smaller audience that we could have reached. But by putting them online, then these videos were viewed over 4,000 times, and you can't get 4,000 people on a physical tour. But we reached people who maybe didn't live in the area, we reached people who we might not have reached beforehand, and it was just a way to engage with people as well in a completely new way that brought in a different audience as well, we think.
People were willing to adapt to what would be best at the time, because not many people were able to do anything anyway. Being able to actually do something was a great thing, and so I think a lot of people, like, they were really happy to be involved and to be part of it, especially Peter with his voiceovers, because he does tours elsewhere, and of course he's not able to do that sort of thing, so it's something that he could be involved with and be able to watch at the comfort of his own home.
Me and Louise had a chat with Steph from Everything to Everybody. I think she does marketing and things there. And she sort of helped us to get the most out of what we were doing. So she advised us on how to promote the videos, how to use Facebook to the best potential, putting the videos directly in, creating a Facebook event and that kind of thing. And sort of helped us by saying, kind of, make sure you leave that content up so it's available for people to still see. And that was really useful. I've used the advice she gave me since, not just in this, but in my job as well. So it was been really valuable.
So we had a huge amount of support from Julia. She really helped in terms of helping us focus what it was we wanted to do for Heritage Week and how we were going to achieve that. And also she directed us towards Steph, who looks after the social media and the digital aspect of Everything to Everybody. And myself and Laura Beth, who looks after our social media, we went to a meeting with Steph and she was advising us on how best to share the content and how each different platform like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, which was a brand new channel for us, that we created our YouTube channel for these videos. She was advising us on how best to use them, how to utilize them, what tools there were on there.
But because we've already managed to do these films, it's made us want to do more of them, because it is an extra element. It means that we can reach further audiences than we could have done if we were just doing the physical tours alone.
We've been awarded funding to buy our own equipment, so we can continue to make these. And going forward, we will do a blend of face-to-face and virtual stuff as well. And we're now going to look to train our volunteers not only in research, but we're going to start training them in how to use cameras, how to use the video editing technology, so that we can really embed this into what we're doing going forward, which is very exciting.
Our actual subscriptions membership is about 300 odd, but like on Twitter, we've got over 1,200. And we have people in Australia, America, New Zealand. We're sort of international. And of course, the videos are not ideal. We can promote them. And in fact, we've decided that in the future, although we should do the face-to-face, we should really do the videos as part of our normal plan.
I think we're sort of thinking about keeping it up, kind of thing. And maybe, I think we discussed sort of doing virtual or online tours, as well as doing an online content, as well as doing the in-person stuff. I think we'd always want to do that in-person stuff though, because it's nice to see people in real life too.
We want to kind of because the Jewellery Quarter, I don't know if you know it very well, but it's very kind of, you know, there's like heritage people in the Jewellery Quarter, but we want to kind of branch out from those people and get to know other people that work or live or practice their faith or, you know, go to school in the Jewellery Quarter, so we can kind of actually build long-lasting kind of relationships and connections.
And at the moment, we're actually looking at a new project involving faith groups in Birmingham as well. And we want to see if we can explore the past religions of the Jewellery Quarter and see what was different then and now and how things have changed or remained the same. So that will be interesting.
The team have learnt new skills, and I think they've enjoyed it. And I think they're keen to do it again.